Welcome back to Just Compilations. Today we'll be picking our top 10 F1 drivers of all time. Enjoy. Number 10, Jim Clark. Jim Clark is a Scottish-born driver with two F1 championships in 1963 and 1965. Apart from his F1 championships, Jim Clark is referred to as one of the most gifted drivers of all time. Clark set 33 pole positions and won 25 of the 72 GPs he started in. Jim Clark even holds a record today, including in 1963 where he led 71% of all laps raced that season. In addition, Clark was 8 miles clear of the nearest competitor in the heavy rain at Spa in 1963, highlighting the bravery of the driver in the most dangerous period of motorsport. However, sadly Clark died in an F2 race at Hockenheim in 1968, so may he rest in peace. Number 9, Niki Lauda. Niki Lauda, the Austrian driver, came into F1 in 1972 as a pay driver. Here comes the Whilst his money helped him into F1, it's his talent that kept him in there. Unlike some other drivers. Despite that, Lauda went on to win 3 F1 championships, 2 for Ferrari and 1 for McLaren, making him the only driver to ever win a championship for both teams. Despite that, his story shows the true hero he is. In the 1976 German GP, Lauda suffered from a 3rd-degree burns to his head and face, and damaged his lungs so severely that a priest read him his last rites by his hospital bed. However, he persevered and went on to return to racing only 6 weeks after his crash. His wounds were still raw. He went on to miss out on the championship by just 1 point to James Hunt. Number 8, Sir Stirling Moss. Sir Stirling Moss is an example of a driver who listing their stats is only scratching the surface of their greatness. Moss is another British Formula 1 driver who is renowned as the best driver to never win the F1 World Championship. He won 212 of the 529 races he took part in, making him have a 40% win rate in all his races. Moss got very close to winning a championship in 1958 by a mere 1 point to his rival Mike Hawthorne. However, Moss did win the 1955 Mille Miglia, which is considered the most competitive drive of all time, beating the likes of Juan Manuel Fangio and Umberto Maglioli, which is why he deserves the number 8 spot on this list. Number 7, Fernando Alonso. Fernando Alonso is a Spanish-born driver with 32 wins. He also has a double world championship both in 2005 and 6. Alonso could have achieved 5 titles if only the dice fall in his favour, especially when it comes to choosing teams. In 2007, Alonso moved to McLaren to partner rookie Lewis Hamilton, to only finish 3rd in the championship, 1 point behind Kimi Raikkonen due to many mishaps during the season.
What the hell was that?
In 2010, Fernando's career looked hopeful as he signed for Ferrari, just for him to get stunted by Vettel's Red Bull success.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because...
Ending end, Fernando Alonso has proven to be one of the most competitive and bravest drivers we've seen, and are definitely worthy of this number 7 spot in this list. Number 6, Sebastian Vettel. Talking about Sebastian Vettel, he is in the number 6 spot. Vettel is a big fan favourite in F1, and for good reason. He's amassed to 4 F1 championships with a total of 53 wins. Vettel's F1 career started in 2007, where his first 3 years he went on to take 9 podiums and 5 wins. However, over the next 4 years, Vettel became virtually unbeatable. He went on to win 4 consecutive championships, becoming the youngest world champion in the process as well. He also secured the records for the following: most podiums, wins, pole positions, most laps led, most consecutive wins, most consecutive Grand Slams, and most pole positions in a season. Which really comes to show why Sebastian Vettel is in the number 6 spot on this list. Anyway, before I tell you about the number 5 spot, I'm going to quickly ask you if you could subscribe to the channel. We're trying to reach 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Thank you, and now back to the video. Number 5, Alain Prost. Alain Prost is an F1 driver from France, known for his meticulous driving style, allowing him to go up against his rival Ayrton Senna, which is renowned to this day as one of the greatest F1 rivalries of all time. Prost amounted to 4 F1 championships, which could have easily been 7, and was a genius at conserving his car in favour of a late race assault. Alain Prost went on to win his last championship in 1993 with Williams after his 1-year sabbatical. He went on to win that season due to the FW15C's innovative design, including active suspension, giving the drivers a complete edge over the field. After his 4 championships, Prost retired due to his contract ending, meaning Ayrton Senna joined Williams. Number 4, Michael Schumacher. Now this is the point when it starts to get a bit controversial, as many will argue that Schumacher deserves to be higher on this list. However, I've put the German-born driver at the number 4 slot, and here's why. Schumacher is a 7-time F1 champion, matching the all-time most F1 championships with Lewis Hamilton. Schumacher, until the rise of Hamilton, was the face of dominance in F1, with 5 of his 7 championships being consecutive with Ferrari. During his dominance, Schumacher put his name in almost every field of the F1 record book. However, due to the Ferrari and Bridgestone advantage, I have to say the drivers to come all possess the same dedication, passion and raw talent like Schumacher, but just a little bit more. Number 3, Juan Manuel Fangio. The Argentinian driver Juan Manuel Fangio was known as El Maestro, and for good reason. He won 5 world championships in the 1950s, arguably the most dangerous driver era, and not only that, he did it for 4 different teams, really showing off his absolutely heroic and world-class driving. By all accounts, Fangio was a warm-hearted driver, but nevertheless, he was always made sure to be in the right team. This upset Enzo Ferrari, who prized loyalty to Ferrari above all, but he established a motor racing truism that still holds today, making Fangio the only F1 driver who is actually bigger than Ferrari. Number 2, Ayrton Senna. For the number 2 spot, I've chosen Ayrton Senna. In my opinion, he's easily the most naturally talented driver to ever race. He had such a high level of commitment to a lap and a constant desire to push the boundaries. Senna achieved 3 titles, however could have achieved more than that from his natural speed and restless ambition, which gave Senna a rarely seen edge in F1, especially during such a competitive era up against the likes of his main rival, Alain Prost. Ayrton Senna is such a legacy that even 30 years after his death, he's still being talked about. Also on the F1 website, he's been calculated to be the fastest racer ever. Honourable mention, Pastor Maldonado. Nah, I'm just playing. The actual honourable mention goes to Nigel Mansell. Number 1, Sir Lewis Hamilton. To finish off the top 10 list, I put Lewis Hamilton at the number 1 spot. He is easily the most complete driver to ever exist. He entered the sport in 2007 and narrowly missed the World Championship by 1 point, which would have made him the only driver to ever win the title in their maiden season. After his championship with McLaren, Niki Lauda influenced Hamilton to make a move to the rising team Mercedes, in which turned out to be Hamilton's best decision, where he won an additional 6 championships to date. Despite all this, Lewis Hamilton is the most successful F1 driver, with 7 world championships and 103 wins, which is an unbeatable feat, which I doubt we'll see get beaten anytime soon. Thank you for watching the video. Let me know if you agree with the list in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you all for watching.